Hello everyone, this is Damon with Pixnup Software. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the Photoshop color actions that come with the Neon Layers template. These actions are meant to quickly be able to change the colors in your template with just a couple of clicks. Now the first thing you'll need to do is to open the Actions window, so under Window and then Actions. And then you'll need to load in your Actions file, so under the little drop down here, select Load Actions, find the file from the download, and hit Load. This comes with quite a few actions, but these are very well organized and simple to use. And by the way, these actions will work with the memory mate file as well as the single player file. And if you're wondering what these red boxes are, if you're not familiar with the sports photo automation system, these are what the automation system will use to automatically align your team and your player if you're running the automation. And of course, you don't have to use the automation. You can manually put in your team and your player. In either case, those will not be there on the final composite. So getting back to the actions here, there's 3 different colors that can be adjusted. That's the background color, and then the foreground color, and then the color of the circle. And each of those are in their own group of actions, which are labeled. And then you've also got a group of actions for setting all of the colors at once. So for example, if I wanted to make this whole template gold, I would select the gold action and hit play. And that sets all 3 color elements to gold. But you can set these individually. So let's say we want the background to be blue. And then let's set the foreground to be green. And then this gold circle here, let's make that green. So really very simple. Now what I recommend doing is setting up your own team color schemes. So for example, I've got hurricanes here. If I hit play, this sets the color scheme for that team. If I select Bruins, it will set up a different color scheme. Now I included 3 examples in these actions, but obviously there's a lot of different combinations you could use, so that's why it only comes with 3 examples. You really want to make your own for your own custom teams. So it's very simple to do. These actions are only 3 steps, and these steps just play the 3 different color actions that you want. So let's just make one so I can show you how to do that. So if I hit new action here, let's call this Bulldogs. And we'll make this red and blue for my Gonzaga Bulldogs. So let's, we're recording here, so let's hit blue for the background. Not what you want. This is on set all colors. I want the background color, so I'm going to hit blue on that and hit play. And you'll notice that this records that step under the new action we're recording. So the next thing is we'll do the foreground color, and I'm going to set this to red. And then this is already blue, but I'm going to record it blue anyway. That way it'll always force it to change that to the blue color. So for the circle, I'll select blue and hit play. And so just hit stop when you're done. And so now you see we have all 3 actions in there that are going to play when we play that Bulldogs action. So let's test that. So let's first set it back to something else. And then if I select the Bulldogs action, it should make that red and blue as we just recorded. So really simple. So you can just go ahead and make all the teams you want for use in, for future use. And then if you're running this in automation, sports photo automation can actually automate and play these actions during its automation. And you can even do that per player and have a CSV spreadsheet set up with the team that each player belongs to. Now I've got another video that goes over that in depth on how to set that up, so make sure to watch the sports photo automation setup video for dynamic templates so you can see how to do that. But as far as recording the actions goes, that's very simple. And you don't even have to use these with the sports photo automation system. You can just use these in Photoshop. Even if you're doing the manual builds, it's still very, very handy. Now the last action I want to show you, this comes with one up at top called Set All Colors, Stop for Input. And this action is just going to bring up the color change dialog for each of the three colors. And so it will allow you to create your own custom color scheme. So if I just hit play on this action, and then it will allow me just to change each color one at a time. Then when you hit OK, it brings up the next color dialog, and you see we're changing this foreground color here. And then finally, it's going to bring up the one for the circle. So anyway, really, really cool. If you just want to, you don't know the exact colors you want and you want to match something to your team, you just play this and then you can match each of the colors individually. Now, if you want to actually record or make new colors for these actions, I'm going to show you how to do that because that's very, very simple as well. Each of these actions, or this is the set all colors, those are not the ones you want to do. So if you want to record the individual colors, it would be these three sections here. So let's say we wanted to make a new background color and have that action stored. So you see each of these actions is only 2 steps. The first step selects the background color layer, which is here. And the second step just fills the color layer with what's recorded in this action. So if you want to make a new one, just duplicate one of these. So let's go with the magenta here. Let's duplicate that. Let's call this new BG. And you'd name it whatever color you're going to use. Now, if you don't know what layer in the template each of these actions belongs to, this step called Select Background Color, if you just double-click the step, it's going to select that color for you. Anytime you double-click within an action, it'll run that step. Now, if it is a step that applies a change, for instance, this Set Fill Color, now that I'm on the background color, I'm going to double-click this. It's going to allow you to change the color, but it's also recording those values into the action itself. So if I wanted to make this any other color, my screen's getting pretty laggy here. This is, I think because I'm doing the 4K video recording, I'm probably starting to run out of RAM in my computer here. So just bear with me here while my computer slowly catches up here. All right, so now I've got this yellow color in there. And so this action now will be set to make this that yellow color. So let's test that. First we'll go to another color and hit play. And then if we go back to this new one and hit play, it will be that yellow color. Now, I'm going to discuss this a little bit further here with that double click. You need to be careful with that too, because if you're just in one of these actions that you don't want to change, and we're on this color fill layer, if we just double click this and then set that color to anything else and then hit OK, we actually just overwrote what was in that action. Because now this is no longer teal. We'll play this again just so you can see it. I now changed that to that new magenta color that I selected. So just be aware of that. Photoshop does make it really easy to edit your actions by double clicking on one of those layers, those edit steps. But it's not going to give you a warning dialog. For instance, if I click on this, it's not going to say, hey, dude, you're changing the actual action itself. It's just going to bring you up this dialog. And if you don't realize this little record step is recorded, and then you change it and hit OK, whatever you change that value to, it's going to use those new values. So no big deal if that ever happens and you mess your actions up. You just toss this in the trash, and then you go in and you reload the actions from the download, and then they are right back to, actually it was the teal one we had changed, but your actions will be back to the exact state they were from the downloaded file. So don't be afraid of accidentally messing them up. Go in and play with the actions and make the changes you need to make. But if you do happen to mess them up, it's easy just to reload those back in. Anyways, thanks for watching. And if you're interested at all in this template, please be sure to visit our website. That is pixnub.com.